Hello everyone and welcome back to Hannah's Happy Home. So today I'm going to be taking you guys along on our day as we work on some projects here in the kitchen. We're going to be ripping off the wood on this island here in the kitchen, replacing it with some nice wide shiplap, doing some painting in the kitchen. We're going to replace the vent hood that's over the stove over here. But before we get started with that, I want to give you a really quick house update. You guys know the biggest project that we've been working on right now is prepping the outside of the house for the stucco. And while I'm giving you guys this update, I'll show you overlay clips of what they've gotten done as far as prep work on the outside of the house. My husband also did some prep work as well. He took down all of the boards that were above the windows and the light fixtures and different things like that. So I will just show all of that footage here as I'm giving you guys the update. So originally the contractor told us that all of the prep work on the outside of the house would take about 3 days and then we could start putting the total wall stucco on the outside of the house. Well, as of today, it's been about a day past a week since they've started doing the prep work, and they probably would have been done in 3 days, except there was some days where he couldn't come work on the house, or there were some days where they were only here working for like 4 hours. But the contractor said this morning that they will be done with the prep work by Friday, which is in 2 more days, and then they will start putting the stucco on the outside of the house on Monday. It honestly seems like this has just been dragging out forever, and we are just so ready to have this house stuccoed. So like you guys have been seeing in the overlay clips, the prep work that they've gotten done so far is to go around the whole outside of the house and take the grinder and grind down all of the high spots on the house and all of the cracks and everything like that. And this house has bump outs around all of the windows, and all of those bump outs had a heavier texture than the rest of the house. So they had to take the grinder to all of the bump outs and get them down as smooth as the rest of the house. And then like we had said in the last video, we decided to close in some of that screened in porch over on the side of the house. So they had to take down all the screen, close that up, and then they had to stucco over that so that it was all ready to put the total wall product over it once they get to that point. So there has been a lot of prep work happening. It's just drug out a lot longer than it was supposed to, but hopefully they only have 2 more days of prep work ahead of them, and then we can finally get started on the total wall product. The clock is ticking because like I had showed you guys in the last video, we have the 50 buckets of stucco, but then the coloring for each of the buckets comes in a separate little container that they have to mix in the buckets before they put it on the house. So we've got 50 of those little containers in a box, and the guy at the supply store said that we have to use those up within 2 weeks or else the coloring is going to start getting hard. And as of tomorrow, we will have had the coloring for 1 week. So they need to start putting that on the house in the next couple of days. So that is pretty much it for the update on the biggest project that we're working on right now, which is the entire exterior of our house. It's looking pretty awful out there because they have ground down like so much of the exterior of the house and all the patching and everything, but it has to look worse before it can get better, right? So I have to run down to the post office really quickly here and ship out a giveaway winner's prize. And then when I get back, we can get started on the shiplap here on the countertop. And I think while I'm gone, Jalen is going to do some other work here in the kitchen, and he will be filming all of that.
So I'm gonna add a plug-in receptacle here in the pantry to put the microwave in here. It doesn't have any plug-ins or anything inside the pantry, so where the refrigerator plugs in, right across the wall is the receptacle. So I'm going to cut a hole in the wall on this side and run a little jumper wire through and put a box in.
walk out here and show you guys the baby chicks because they have tripled in size since I last filmed them in the last home renovation video. We walk out here every morning and they literally grow overnight. It's so crazy. Okay, so like I said earlier, we're going to be ripping all of these skinny boards off and replacing them with wider shiplap. The wider shiplap is going to look a lot better and cleaner, and these skinny boards were only like $1 a piece, so it's not going to be a very big loss, and we can also reuse these on another project. Can we just use a hammer to pop these off, do you think? There's not a very wide gap there.
Yeah, we can just get one started. Won't be bad.
I think I put a lot of nails in.
I'm sure you did.
I'm the one who actually put these boards up. We actually have decided that I think we're going to be epoxying these countertops. We just got this stuff in the mail to epoxy the boys' bathroom countertop. We're going to use their countertop to test it out on and see how good it turns out. These are the shiplap boards that we picked up from Lowe's the other day. These were actually on sale for only like $5 and some change, which was a really good deal. First step, take our measurements.
66 and 7/16. Oh, good.
Have literally just enough boards. After he puts this one up, there'll be just enough of a gap to slice the other one in half and use that, and then that will be all of our boards. And he actually just measured and realized that what he cut off of these boards is exactly going to fit on this side if we wanted to continue the shiplap. How big is our, oh my word, that is a skinny gap.
Oh, too skinny. I should have ripped that one in half and put it all the way down.
Can't see that gap at the top unless you're standing over here because it's so skinny, but Jalen wants to just try to rip the other board and see if he can get one to fit there. Looks like it's gonna work. Jalen's decided he's gonna pop these boards off on the side. When we epoxy the countertops, we want the epoxy to be able to run over the edge of the countertops. You like tape and you have plastic laying everywhere. But if we put this board here, I'll bring you closer so you can see, it sticks out a little bit more than the countertops. That might make it kind of tricky, so it'd be
I'm just gonna
super.
leave it off.
Yeah.
And then once we're done epoxying, then we can put this board on and paint it.
Okay, so like with any project that we do, this took way longer than we thought it was going to, but we're at the stage now where we've got all the boards on here. Jalen's gonna come in with some wood putty and just fill in all the nail holes, different things like that. We're gonna let that dry, and then we're going to have to extend this video into tomorrow, and I will paint this tomorrow, and we'll do the vent hood and all of that tomorrow as well. Jalen got out the putty and he's filling in the nail holes and some of the cracks, different things like that before I come in and paint. Okay, so if you guys remember from the video when we got this fridge, when we received it, it had a little dent here on the front of the freezer door. So Jalen's gonna pop off this dented freezer door, and we've got the new one leaning up over there in the laundry room. First, we gotta take everything out of the freezer. Right up here is where it was dented during shipping. Should just lift right out. That makes for easy cleaning. That just lifts right out. There we go. Oh, here's the best part, peeling off the plastic. This right here is the paint that we used on our kitchen cabinets. It's from the brand Beyond Paint. It's an all-in-one, so it bonds, primes, and seals. Excuse my voice, I've got a little bit of a cold. I'm going to be using foam rollers, and then we will use a paintbrush to get in between the cracks. We were going to trim out these sides, but he ended up just putting that wood filler putty in these cracks just to make these smooth, and we love how this looks way better than trying to trim it out. If we would have put trim there, then we would have had to trim the whole thing along the bottom and everything. Okay, so we're just about finished with the first coat here, and this paint is extremely thick, but once you put it on, it goes on very thin. We might even have to do like 3 coats of this paint. And like we said yesterday, we're not putting the top piece on until after we do the epoxy on the countertops, just to make it a little bit easier when we've got that runoff coming over the counters. While we wait for that first coat to dry, I'm gonna grab my roller and paint the underneath sides of these cabinets, which I forgot to do when we originally painted the cabinets a couple months ago. how this turned out. We both absolutely love it. It looks a million times better than it did before. Looks a little more professional. I like that we have the same thing wrapping around the side here instead of before we had two different things going on. We ended up having to do 3 coats of paint to these boards. We love how the edges turned out over here. We didn't even trim them out. Like I told you guys, my husband used wood putty to clean up the sides of these, painted over it, and it looks awesome. And I will touch up this paint over here when we paint this, but we can't paint this until they fix this texture over here. If you guys watched the previous videos, you know what happened over here. And here's how this side turned out. We just love how it looks without the trim, and I did use a foam roller on this. My husband used the paintbrush to get in the cracks here. It got a fairly smooth finish with that foam roller. Back at the beginning of the video, I said that these boards were shiplap. That was a mistake. These boards aren't shiplap. Shiplap is more of like a square look. These kind of have a divot in them. These do lock together nicely when you stack them like this, and I actually really love the look that they give, but these are not like actual shiplap boards. But I will go and find exactly what these boards were called so that I can link them down below for you guys if you want to do this project yourself. The last project we're gonna do in this kitchen is to swap out the vent hood right here. We were gonna do a microwave above the stove, but we just have too small of an area right here to put a microwave. It just wasn't gonna work. So we're just gonna swap it out with the new vent hood. Here's how the island looks with the bar stools. This just turned out so good. Did such a good job, babe. And here is our new vent for above the stove. Nice stainless steel. You think it's gonna fit there? Should be a 30-inch, right?
Yeah, it said on the box somewhere.
This is the Kitchen X's under cabinet range hood, and we actually thought that we were getting the touch screen one, but we got this one with the push buttons. I don't have time today, but one of these days I need to come in here and do all this touch-up paint because this vent is a little bit higher than our last one, but there's a nice wide gap around the sides and the back, so I'll have plenty of room to put tape in there. After we epoxy the countertops, we're also doing backsplash, so that'll go all the way up to the vent when we do that. I'm hoping to find a new stove over Black Friday, something stainless steel. I would like for it to be flat all the way to the wall and have the controls right here. Oh, the lights work on it.
They better work.
Oh, there's the first speed. Second speed. Wow, that thing's got power. And then this will be your light. I just shined it up with my favorite stainless steel, the Method stainless steel cleaner and polish. Got it nice and shiny. Okay, so that is it for our kitchen projects today. The next big project is going to be to epoxy the countertops. Then we're going to be doing a backsplash, installing the new sink and the faucet. But yeah, we're pretty happy with everything that we got done the last 2 days. Our Traeger grill just got delivered. This is the Ironwood 885. So excited to cook some steaks and chicken. This thing is gonna be so awesome. It's like Jalen's birthday today or something. Is this where you put the pellets in right here?
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
So this has got Wi-Fi technology, so Jalen can control the grill anytime, anywhere on his phone. Got the pellet sensor. It's gonna work with our Google Assistant that we have inside. fit so much meat in here. It's got 2 different racks, and you can take off the little top rack and hang it in the back when you're not using it. They've got some of their Traeger pellets. What kind is this?
This is the hickory maple cherry.
Okay, Jalen's about to throw some steaks on the Traeger for supper. He marinated these for a little while. So Jalen can also view the steak cooking here on his app, all the temperatures and everything. This is the Traeger app.
This is the probe over here. The goal is 150 and probe is at 78. And then you have a timer you can set here. Shows the percentage.
This smells amazing. So a huge thank you to Traeger Grills for sending that amazing grill over to us. We are so excited to try all of the recipes. We want to cook a ton of stuff on there. If you guys have a Traeger grill, let me know down in the comments and let me know what your favorite thing to cook on the Traeger is. I will have the link for the Ironwood 885 grill from Traeger down below if you guys want to go and check it out. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and you enjoy getting to see us work on these projects here in the kitchen. And stay tuned because like I said, we're going to do the epoxy on these countertops, but first we're going to be epoxying the boys' bathroom countertop. So stay tuned for that video here in the next couple of weeks, and I will see you guys in a couple days with a brand new video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.